Welcome to HoodChampionBoxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Virgil Ortiz recently did a video on him and just being a little disappointed in the fight between him and Stanley Eunice being postponed. But, in that video we talked a little bit about Ortiz, about the disease that he was stricken with last year that caused him to postpone a fight. He was able to get beyond it, get back in the ring. Then he had a fight scheduled with Stanley Eunice this year. Stanley Eunice had a appendicitis. And then him and Stanley Eunice supposed to be fighting soon. And then now Virgil Ortiz has fallen ill again. They didn't say if it's the same thing here, this RHABDOMYOLYSIS. But I'm suspecting that that's probably the same illness that he's dealing with, which resulted in postponing his fight with Stanley Eunice. But I'm gonna tell you right now, this disease is a problem, and it can be life-threatening. It affects the kidneys, but it's different levels to this rhabdomyolysis. Okay, now the one thing about it is we know it's a rare muscle injury where your muscles break down. This is a life-threatening condition that can happen after an injury or excessive exercise without rest. If you notice symptoms like weak and sore muscles and color change in your pee, contact your healthcare provider. Now, we're talking boxing, right? And when you think about excessive exercise without rest, let me tell you something. Boxing isn't the only sport. I went out here and canvassed the internet so I could have a better understanding of this. And let me tell you, this rhabdomyolysis, right, is something that affects athletes across all sports. There was an issue at the Texas Women's University, right, where one of the individuals experienced an unusual delayed pain following the annual fitness test for her competitive volleyball team. She knew something was off, and she was one of 8 players from her team that ended up hospitalized for this condition called rhabdomyolysis, which is short it's called rhabdo. Now, in their case, this rhabdo, it was induced by extreme muscle strain during exercise. Now, do boxers put themselves through an extreme muscle strain during exercise? Do they put themselves through grueling workouts? Do they often push themselves in extremely hot environments? Do they often push themselves without rest? Sometimes without water? Yes, they do. Okay? But check this out. What happened with this group of women, they had a grueling workout, right? It included an hour of continuous push-ups and up and downs. Now, up and downs are hard on the body. An hour of continuous push-ups and up and downs, that's like torture. Anyway, these are for the guys now. Anyway, it sent 3 of the University of Oregon football players to the hospital with the same thing, rhabdo. Their strength and conditioning coach received a one-month suspicion. Now that's crazy. In 2013, 6 Ohio State University women's lacrosse players were hospitalized with rhabdo after the team had undergone an intense new workout. And the strenuous regimen of squats, sled pushing, sprints, and upper body exercise was enough to send 13 members of the 2011 University of Iowa football team to the ER. Their rhabdo was so acute that some even required dialysis, because this affects the kidneys. So those are just a few instances where we've had athletes from different sports, but who've been pushed to endure excessive exercise, which to me sounds like torture, without rest, and then they develop these symptoms. And some guys have even had to go and get dialysis because it affects their kidneys. It is really unfortunate, but the key to understanding requires a closer look at the condition, right? Although it's rare, it's preventable, and it should never happen. So when you hear that, it makes you wonder just how hard is he pushing himself? What is his father doing? And why did this happen again? Now, rhabdo is a destruction of skeletal muscle that can happen when the body's pushed too hard, like we talked about, and too soon means that not enough rest. While the condition may also have other causes, the focus is extreme muscle strain. The likeliest culprit in young athletes, and he's a young man, and you know with young athletes like him who have a high commitment level, they're going to push themselves. Extreme muscle strain can come from performing new exercises. Too many sets and reps of an exercise, too many negative reps of an exercise, too much training to failure, which is what we do in boxing, or too high a level of exercise after training layoff, or even just a few weeks, or even sparring 15 rounds, 4-minute rounds, and every round bringing in a new sparring partner with 30-second breaks. Sounds like something they do in boxing. But when it comes to this kind of strain that's happening across all sports, and what Virgil Ortiz is putting himself through, it damages the muscles. Now, the damaged muscle membrane and connective tissue framework dumps a muscle protein called myoglobin into the bloodstream. A myoglobin tsunami then reaches the kidney and blocks its filtration system, which can lead to kidney failure. I'm going to read that again. Extreme muscle strain actually damages the muscles. The damaged muscle membrane and connective tissue framework dumps a muscle protein called myoglobin into the bloodstream. A myoglobin tsunami, so myoglobin here is the culprit. A myoglobin tsunami then reaches the kidney. So the myoglobin gets to the kidney, and then it blocks the kidney's ability to filtrate. And that leads to kidney failure. That's why some of those athletes have to go on dialysis. When the myoglobin levels are this high in the blood, the myoglobin spills over from the kidney into the urine. As an indicator, the urine becomes tea color, brown, or even the color of Coca-Cola. This is a very bad sign for which people should seek immediate medical attention. Patients may be admitted into hospitals for intravenous fluids to keep the kidney filtration going, and some of them will need dialysis for days or weeks. That's crazy. And there's so much more about rhabdo. But I will tell you this. When it comes to this intense muscle damage as a result of this excessive training, that intense muscle damage also dumps the electrolyte potassium into the blood at an extremely high pathologic level that could cause a heart attack and even death. A police recruit recently died in training, reportedly from rhabdo. Now, it's often misconstrued as a form of dehydration, but the two are separate ailments that may or may not occur at the same time. Now, I'm just telling you right now, this is serious. Now, if you guys want to go out there and read up on this, there's an article that I was kind of scanning as I was talking from scuhealth.org. And you can go out there, you can just type, everyone knows how to Google this whole damn rhabdomyolysis, and you get a better understanding. But in my opinion, if Virgil Ortiz and his team don't get this stuff together, they don't figure out what they're doing wrong, they don't figure out a smarter way to train, then Virgil Ortiz is going to be in trouble, man. And it's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But they got to figure it out. It's preventable. But who knows if his situation is beyond repair. We just don't know. So more to come on Virgil Ortiz, but I just wanted you guys to have a better understanding of what the champ is going through. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've been saying this. Some people don't agree with me. I think Virgil Ortiz, he cut from a different cloth, man. And you watching his fights, the more shots he takes, the harder he comes at his opponents. And all I'm saying is, I've always felt like he has a good chance on beating Spence and Crawford. And I hope he can get beyond this so he can get his opportunity to fight one of those guys because I'd hate for him to end up in a situation where his boxing career is derailed because of a medical situation. It's not the same as Paul Williams, but it'll be a whole lot of what ifs. We know what Paul Williams' whole thing with the motorcycle. Paul Williams was on his way. But it is what it is. And to see Virgil Ortiz, who's on his way, he's right there. And to see that getting taken away from him, you know, I would hate for that to happen. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of your health. So that being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Y'all make sure y'all take care, especially if you have kids in sports like I do. This reminds me to not push my oldest son so hard, because this man will have track practice, then he'll go to a track meet, then he'll go to basketball practice, and then the next day he's back at track practice, then he has soccer practice. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't rest enough. So this I'm glad I learned about this. So if I ever see Virgil Ortiz, I'm gonna thank him because if he wasn't brave enough to put his condition out there on the internet, I would have never learned about this crap. I'm being honest with you. So this, even for me, tells me, man, look, that kind of make sure my son maintains a high commitment level with whatever he's doing. But for me to kind of throttle back a little bit, because I don't want to deal with this crap for any of my 4 sons. So it is what it is. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.